Alright, so I'm coming back with one more today. I felt the impetus to drop one more as we cross over to pitching. And the goal here is to distill down all of the hard work, all the grinding that I do every season, years and years of this, absorbing information from all over the place and just distilling it and dumping it down to you so that you can dominate fantasy baseball, so that you can make a jump in your knowledge, so that you can evaluate pitchers in season. And if you've been checking my last two videos, first I have to apologize because I think the mic was up too high and the volume sounds terrible on the last video. So hopefully this fixes that. But anyways, there's so much nuance that goes into pitching. So it takes a little while. Sleeper in the Bus podcast, Eno Saris used to be on there breaking down pitching, watching pitching. A lot of different metrics that you got to kind of compare to understand pitching and have a real passion for it if you're going to dominate fantasy baseball. So this is just going to be a stats primer. I'm not going to drop any names of my top 12 aces probably till tomorrow. But this way you can get into the metrics. Maybe you want to take a peek. Maybe you want to see who you think was dominant and what you're buying into this year. But the fundamental premise of my evaluation of pitchers is that you're drafting stuff. Pitchers have stuff. And the reason I say this is because sometimes the stuff comes and goes. The changeup is a field pitch. Velocity can be there or a little bit not there. Maybe he's a warm weather pitcher. Maybe it's a mechanical thing. 4, 5, 6 starts, like quarterbacks in the NFL, they need 3 games. They need 3 games to get the timing right, to get the motion, to get up to game speed. Then the stuff starts to kick in. So there's some advanced metrics that we need to talk about in order to evaluate player stuff. And the reason from the previous videos that I'm sticking with hitters is that pitchers are volatile. What they're doing is very abnormal. It's unhealthy. They're throwing a little stone as hard as they can off the mound. The mound is at an angle. They're throwing it with max effort. The arm starts to wear down. They need to pitch a lot in order to be good. But pitching a lot, eventually the elbow goes. And when these guys get injured, it's bad. You tear a lat, forearm strain leads to Tommy John, shoulder goes. These guys are out. They're out. They're not going to be good the rest of the year. So typically, I'm still chasing hitters early in my auction drafts, spending my money there, because I can kind of piece it together. And every year, young pitchers come up with live arms or somebody emerges, and I'm confident that I'm able to identify these players and pick them up during the season. That being said, I do want to take my shot of maybe an ace, a 1A elite ace, or a 1B, second tier could be ace. In order to keep your staff healthy, you got to win those 5 categories. So let's jump into the stats. Again, you got to go to fangraphs.com. If you're not checking Fangraphs, obviously you're not that serious about fantasy baseball. And when you're ready to make the jump, you jump over to Fangraphs. And just stat-wise, go to leaders, go to pitching leaders 2018. And I'm just going to give you the metrics and what they mean to me and how you have to kind of balance these. The dashboard will be the original page that opens up. Again, they're sorting by WAR, wins against replacement, and it's pretty good here. I mean, you're going to see your better pitchers essentially listed out. DeGrom, Scherzer, Verlander, Corbin, Cole, Bauer, Sebs, Nola, Kluber, Kress, no problem. Right? So you know who to get. This isn't going to be tricky. There you go. Draft those guys. Where it starts to get a little silly, 15, Kyle Freeland of the Rockies. No, he's not 15. He might have had a good season. That's not where we're taking him. Marco Gonzalez at 20, doubtful. So you got to look a little bit further into the metrics. And I like Ks. The first thing we're going to do is just the term K per 9. This is strikeouts per 9 inning. And I need a 9K per 9. That's a strikeout per inning. That's kind of the tipping point. Above 9K, I'm really starting to like you. You start to get sub 9, I'm starting to get concerned. And the reason is because when a pitcher can strike a guy out, he can get out of trouble. He can mow down the side. He's got to have control. It's these guys with 6 Ks per 9, 7, 8. I don't really want any part of that. First, their Ks aren't really going to help me in my counting stat of Ks, one of the 5 categories that we often refer to. And they might be a ground ball pitcher, and so sometimes those grounders get through. There's a lot of variation. So you got to know your K per 9. Next, hit advanced. You'll see there's tabs, dashboard, standard, advanced. We'll get to the next ones, batted ball, plate discipline, pitch type. We'll get to those. But under advanced, the ones you got to be familiar with, and I'll sometimes sort by this. Let me see what this is even sorted by. I'm not sure. But this is kind of the most, who's filthy? You're looking for filth? K minus BB percentage. This is your K to walk percentage. So how frequently you get a K, strike a guy out, versus how frequently you walk a batter. And just to get out there, walking batters is bad because you'll load the bases. Then when you give up a hit, you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for all those walked runners. Don't let guys on base. You give up a home run, it's a solo shot. You're walking guys, and then you give up a home run. Now your ERA is going to explode. Your WHIP, walks, and hits per innings pitch, it's going to explode. So we don't want to walk. We want to strike guys out. And the best stat for this, the filth stat, in my estimation, is K minus BB percentage. And when you sort by that under the advanced metric, you immediately see pretty much the nastiest guys from last season. Verlander, Scherzer, DeGrom, Cole Corbin. You can see it there. And my threshold is 20%. 20% and up, these guys are nasty. 20% and down, it's starting to fade. And you can look at this metric at any time in season, at different times of the year, and you're kind of getting a measure of a guy's filth. This is the thing. It's not super sticky from year to year. It's close. I mean, Verlander had a 30. Go back to his career, you're going to see 20, 30, 20, between very good and excellent. The other thing is that I notice is guys in the high teens, this 19, 17, see suddenly there's a lot of guys in 17. Even guys you don't really want to mess with. But it's good to know that they have some stuff. I mean, Porcello, Bundy, his season. So sometimes you'll see the guys in the teens, if they do something like limit their walks or control something, they can make a big bump in this K to B percentage. So you got to get comfortable with that. Then I got to bring you over, like, ERA is a bad metric. ERA does not stick from year to year. ERA it can change. No 2 ERAs are the same. The stats that we really like here are FIP and xFIP. So FIP, fielding independent pitching, it kind of takes out how the players were doing. xFIP is normalized for different parks. These kind of tell you the truth of the ERA. Think of the numbers as being pretty consistent. A 3 ERA is good, a 3 FIP is good, a 3 xFIP is good. Lower is better, higher is bad. FIP is how true that ERA was as he was getting it. xFIP is kind of a predictor. How is that ERA going to look in the future? These in-season metrics are great. You might see that a guy had a great game. His ERA for the game was like a 1.8, but his xFIP said he was a 5. So he's going to get blown up. There's going to be blow-ups because his xFIP is telling you that he really outperformed the metric. And then your SIERA, skills independent earned run average. So the SIERA kind of tells you how true, how pure was the ERA. These are great things to sort by. You could sort by xFIP and just draft that. So I'm going to be looking at a lot of xFIP, a lot of FIP, a lot of SIERA, a lot of K to B percentage, and evaluating my pitching. Next, it's on this page, K per 9. You can just sort by that. It's getting you an idea of the filth again. So back up on the menu, another spot we're going to have to look under pitch type. We click on pitch type. Give it a second here. And this is an interesting list. And to tell you a little bit of my evolution in fantasy baseball analysis, is at some point I just said, "Oh, I'm just gonna draft velocity." I mean, there's a certain level of heat that guys just can't handle, and I'm going back to Eno. Eno Saris, who used to be on Sleeper in the Bus, and now he's on The Athletic, which I don't even know where to find that stuff, but I guess people are reading it. Um, he talks about this velocity of about 93, 94. That's when the pitch is coming so fast that the pitcher basically, I mean the hitter, just has to kind of guess. And you're really starting to press the hitter at any kind of velo 94 and above. 93 probably the touch point where I'm starting to separate it. And once you get down to 92, now that fastball that can get hit. Big league hitters are dealing with a lot of velocity. They're seeing tons of velocity out of the pen. They're adapting to high velocities. So that kind of cutoff, I like my pitchers throwing that 93, 94. And if we sort through this list of, it's already self-sorted by fastball velocity. And across the top here is the percentage, fastball percentage, how often they throw it, the velocity, how hard it's throwing. You got your slider, your cutter, your curveball, your change, your split finger, and your knuckle. And even the percentage thrown. I mean, there is just so much, and I'm gonna try to I'm just gonna dump it on you. Just gonna dump it into you. You just deal with it. Take what you can. Let me know if I need to go into some more detail on something else. Hit me up in the comment. So, the percentage of what they throw is important, but now you got pitch mix. Pitch mix. Guys with two pitches, fastball, slider, they're gonna be relievers. This took a little while to really learn and adapt to this. In the MLB, you need the third pitch to get through the lineup 2-3 times. The hitters will adjust. They'll see it. They'll know what it is. You need a third pitch, preferably a fourth pitch. Some guys have 5 pitches, and this is just to keep hitters off balance, to make sure you can work righties and lefties, and to go deeper into games. So you're even getting to see how much guys are using. I mean, when we go to Severino here, he's on top of the fastball velo. He's throwing 50% fastballs, touching 98, just gas. And the rest is sliders, and he just sprinkles in a change. I mean, he's almost a 2-pitch pitcher, but because the hard stuff is so hard, it's working. And the list is pretty good here. I mean, you can see a lot of these guys we found on the other list. We found them leading in their WAR season or under their xFIPs. But you do see sprinkled in, where I've learned, you see a Jose Urena throwing 96. Well, his other stuff isn't good. He doesn't throw it that much, and he gets hit up. Ronaldo Lopez, a guy I like, did have some gems last year, but he also had some terrible blow-ups. So velo alone isn't really going to get it done, but we're definitely going to track this. And just to save you some time, preseason, when you're looking at pitchers or if you get the MLB package, you want to check guys' velo. This can just change year to year. A guy may come and he just doesn't have his stuff this year. They go through dead arm phases. They got to ramp up. I mean, every year we're going to talk about Greinke's velo. Can he work at 91? Can he work at 90? I don't want any part of that. I don't really want 90 heat because that's going to get killed some days. But some guys can make it work because of control, placement. Greinke's got 4-pitch mix, can keep guys off of it. I mean, Rich Hill lives off the curveball. His fastball, 91. It's garbage. So you really, pitching is different. It's how guys work, but we're going to definitely be checking in on velo. We're going to check it midseason. And we're going to see how guys are doing preseason just to make sure that everything's clicking in the right way. Also, the pitch mix. And we go to plate discipline. You know, it's a huge mind shift to go from hitters over to pitchers. Completely different metrics, whole different part of the game, but basically it's the other half of the game. Now, immediately on plate discipline, we get the O swing. So now you've got all the same categories that I'm describing for contact for your hitters. We got them for your pitchers. How much O swing are they generating? So pitchers want to create reach. Pitchers want you out of the zone and chasing trash and chasing off-speed stuff. And then you got your Z contact. So now, let's think about this. If they're living in the zone, can they live in the zone and not get hit? I mean, right off the top of the list, Patrick Corbin, Z contact 82. Okay, DeGrom, Mr. Cy Young, his Z contact is only 80. So he can get in the zone, and they couldn't even find him. everybody was a suspect hitter. Now you got Michaelis, comes over from international play. His O swing is good. He can get guys to chase, but his Z contact at 87 is a little bit problematic, meaning he's getting touched up in the zone. And the metrics keep going. You can go deeper and deeper. There's release points, but just to get your feet wet, these O swings, these Z contacts, these are already important. And my last one, my favorite on this page, again, we're under plate discipline on Fangraphs, pitching leaders, swinging strike, and just sort by that. So swinging strike, getting a whiff, maybe this whiff rate kind of correlates to K rate. The only thing that would be missing is that I can get a swinging strike on the first pitch, the second pitch. It's only the third pitch swinging strike that I get the K. Or I was pitching to contact, getting foul balls. But swinging strike, it's going to equate to filthiness. So all these guys, the top of the list, dirty, Max Scherzer, Corbin, Carrasco, Blake Snell, who I'm pretty sure the AL Cy Young, he was amazing last year. He's got a 15% swinging strike. It's elite. He's up there by himself. I mean, there's only 9 guys before I get down to a 12% swinging strike. And you can check these guys out. You can see how they're doing midseason, but your swing strike percentage is going to kind of dictate the K percentage, gets you an idea of just stuff that hitters are just fanning at, just can't get to. It's a good measurement for filthiness. Then we can go to pitch value. Gosh, it's going to get messy here. And the way this is done, it's like how good a certain pitch was in comparison to the rest of the league. It's not sticky from game to game. And I think that's the biggest indicator of stuff, of like how their fastball was coming, how the slider worked that game. Scherzer will tell you, I think he's got a 4 or 5 pitch mix. If something, the change, I didn't have a good feel from it, he'll just go away from it. So it might have a bad game, might get hit up. But you can go into pitch values, you can kind of get a sense of how this guy is working. We go to Scherzer, you can see he's got that 30 for his fastball. The only difference between the WFB and the WFB over C is them dividing it by 100. I tend to like the bigger number. So you can see Scherzer, Verlander, they're living on good fastballs. How is the slider? Well, Scherzer's got a slider too. He's got a nasty change. That's how he's living. DeGrom was working the fastball, was working the slider, the change, even the curve. So DeGrom was just 4-pitch. Can't hold him, can't deal with him. But some guys, Trevor Williams, he had a decent season. Let's see. Well, his fastball worked for him, 21. But his slider was subpar, so was his curveball, so was his change. So that's why he gets rocked occasionally. Kyle Freeland, again. Nola. Look at Nola with that curveball, that 23. He's got the buggy, that thing just buggy whip, controls it. They can't handle it. So pitch value is another place to get in, get a feel for the pitcher, see how he's doing. There's more stuff on here. There's pitch info. There's other stuff. But in the end, we can't really chase wins. Don't look at the wins from last year and try to get the wins this year, because the pitcher has to be spotted a lead. He's got to make it through the minimum 5 innings. Then his pen has to hold on. They have to maintain the lead. So wins alone are really finicky from year to year. You can try to lean towards a team that's more likely to win games or get run support, like the Astros, and go away from teams that aren't likely to win games, like the Orioles. And this will get you started. Batted ball, you could go to some contact rates. Again, the reverse. So under batted ball with the hitters, I want hard contact. My pitchers, I don't want to give up hard contact. I want it soft or, ground ball, that kind of thing. And I guess the last little missing piece here is under advanced is the home run per 9, home run suppression. The long ball can kill a guy. Couple walks and a long ball, you just gave up 3 runs that inning. Your ERA is about to blow up. So when you're really looking for that final piece to differentiate a pitcher, maybe take a peek at that home run per 9. DeGrom and Bauer were suppressing home runs. Verlander, 1 home run per 9, 1.2 actually. So he may give it up from time to time. He personally is getting a little bit older. These are some of the metrics you got to get into. Left on base percentage. This is like you got some guys on base, but then you got off. You escaped. You got out of the side, and your left on base can sometimes become an issue because you're not going to leave 99% on base. You're about to get hit. Some of the metrics. Get ready for my video tomorrow. I'll tell you the top 12. I'm out.